Up to this point, I've been talking about recursion, governance, and continuity as separate pieces. Each one matters on its own, but when they're combined in a specific way, you start to get something different. Not just a system that produces outputs, but a system that can evaluate, refine, and stabilize its own reasoning over time. That's what I mean by a recursive language model. Before going any further, it's important to be clear about what this is not. This isn't a new kind of intelligence. It's not a claim about consciousness. It's not a claim about AGI. And it's not replacing existing models. What changes here is not the underlying model, but how the model is used. If you think back to recursion, outputs become inputs. If you think about governance, those iterations are evaluated before continuing. And if you think about continuity, the system maintains stability across time. Each of these solves a different problem, but none of them on their own are sufficient. A recursive language model is what happens when those three are combined into a single system, where reasoning is generated through language, that reasoning is evaluated before continuation, and the system maintains coherence across iterations. So instead of isolated outputs, you get structured reasoning over time. This changes what the system is capable of, because it's no longer just predicting the next token. It's revisiting its own reasoning, correcting errors, extending a line of thought across multiple steps. That's a different mode of operation. But recursion alone isn't enough. In fact, recursion by itself tends to make systems less stable, because every iteration introduces the possibility of drift. Errors don't just appear, they compound. Bias doesn't just exist, it reinforces. So the system doesn't naturally converge, it diverges. So the real question becomes, what prevents that divergence? And the answer is structure. Recursion has to operate inside constraint boundaries, evaluation checkpoints, and controlled iteration. Otherwise, you don't get refinement, you get amplification. So a recursive language model isn't defined by recursion alone. It's defined by how recursion is constrained, evaluated, and stabilized. And once you see it that way, it stops looking like a new idea and starts looking like the natural next step in how intelligent systems evolve.